There are places you visit, and places you slowly enter without realizing when it begins. The air feels warmer, the light softer. Time seems less urgent, as if the world has quietly adjusted its pace around you. Nothing announces where you are yet, but something has already changed. This is Bali, an island where life moves in balance with belief, nature, and ritual. Here, spirituality is not separate from daily routine. It is woven into every step, every gesture, every pause. Bali does not ask to be explored quickly. It asks to be felt. Mountains rise gently inland, jungles breathe with mist, and water flows everywhere. Rice terraces follow the contours of the land, and the ocean arrives with steady patience. Nature does not surround Bali, it guides it, shaping how people live, work, and rest. Bali carries both calm and energy without conflict. Quiet mornings, vibrant afternoons, reflective evenings. Here, movement never overwhelms stillness. Everything flows naturally, like breath, arriving, leaving, returning again. But Bali is not a single story. Beyond this first impression lie forests, coastlines, villages, and sacred spaces, each with its own rhythm and meaning. From here, the journey continues, deeper into Bali, toward places where this island reveals even more of itself. Before the island fully wakes, there is a place wrapped in shadow. The air feels cooler here, heavier with silence. Shapes exist only as outlines, and the world holds its breath, as if waiting for something ancient to reveal itself. This is Mount Batur, an active volcano resting quietly at the heart of Bali. Raw, grounded, and deeply connected to the island's natural rhythm. It stands not as a threat, but as a reminder of the land's living energy. The landscape here is shaped by eruption and time. Dark volcanic rock, wide craters, and a calm lake resting below. Everything feels elemental. A balance between destruction and creation, stillness and force. As the sun begins to rise, the mountain transforms. Shadows lift, mist thins, and warm light spreads slowly across the land. The silence remains, but it feels lighter now, filled with clarity rather than anticipation. Mount Batur feels like an opening chapter, a place that grounds you before the journey moves on. From this high, quiet beginning, Bali starts to unfold, leading onward to valleys, forests, temples, and coastlines still waiting ahead. Leaving the volcanic silence behind, the land begins to soften. Dark stone gives way to green, and the air feels lighter with every turn. The raw energy of the mountain slowly settles, guiding the journey downward into calm. This is Tegallalang, a landscape shaped by patience rather than force. Layer upon layer of rice terraces follow the natural curves of the land, creating a rhythm that feels organic and deeply balanced. Water moves quietly here. Through narrow channels and gentle slopes, it connects every level, every field. Nothing rushes. This steady flow defines life, growth, and harmony across the terraces. Tegallalang is never still. Light shifts across the fields, leaves move with the breeze, and the green deepens with time. Human presence blends softly into the land, guided by tradition and respect for nature's pace. Tegallalang feels like a moment of release. A place where the body relaxes and the mind slows naturally. From here, the journey continues deeper into Bali, toward forests, villages, and sacred spaces where this balance reveals itself even more fully. Leaving the layered green behind, the land opens suddenly. The air turns salty, the light sharper, and the sound of water replaces silence. The journey shifts outward, drawn toward the edge where land ends and the horizon begins. This is Uluwatu Temple. Set high on a cliff, it faces the open Indian Ocean with quiet authority. Not hidden, not guarded, just present, standing where earth meets endless water. Below the temple, waves arrive without pause. They crash, retreat, and return again, shaping the cliffs through repetition and time. Here, the ocean does not threaten, it reminds, carrying a power that feels ancient and constant. Above the movement, the temple remains calm. Wind moves through stone and sky, light shifts slowly, and the space feels held. Uluwatu balances motion and stillness effortlessly. A place where energy passes through, but peace stays. As the sun lowers and the horizon softens, Uluwatu feels like a pause at the edge. A moment to look outward before turning inward again. From here, the journey continues. Toward new shores, hidden coves, and other sacred spaces waiting along Bali's coastline. As the sound of waves slowly fades, the journey turns inward. The air grows cooler, thicker with green, and movement becomes softer. The vast openness of the sea gives way to a different kind of depth, one hidden beneath layers of forest. This is Sekumpul Waterfall. Tucked deep within Bali's northern jungle, it reveals itself gradually. Not as a single cascade, but as a gathering of waterfalls, each one flowing with quiet strength. Waterfalls endlessly here, carving stone, feeding roots, filling the air with mist. The sound is constant, but never harsh, a rhythm that calms rather than overwhelms. Surrounded by dense forest, Sekumpul feels protected. Light filters through leaves, time loosens its grip, and the body slows naturally. This is not a place to rush through. It is a place to stand still and breathe. Sekumpul feels like a turning point, a moment where the journey softens completely. From here, Bali begins to reveal its gentler side, leading onward toward valleys, villages, and calm spaces still waiting ahead. Leaving the echo of falling water behind, the forest grows quieter. The path narrows, the air softens, and sound begins to settle. What was once movement becomes calm, guiding the journey inward. This is Ubud, the spiritual heart of Bali. Here, life unfolds gently among forests, rivers, and temples, inviting reflection rather than urgency. In Ubud, belief shapes the day. Small offerings appear at doorways, incense drifts through the air. And routines feel intentional, grounded, and human. Spirituality here is lived, not observed. Jungle surrounds every path. Rivers carve quiet valleys, and light filters softly through leaves. Nature does not dominate Ubud. It walks alongside it, setting a rhythm that calms the mind. Ubud feels like a pause within the journey. A place where thought slow, breath deepens, and balance returns. From here, Bali opens further. Toward coastlines, villages, and gentle moments still waiting ahead. As the jungle loosens its grip, the space begins to open. Trees step back, the air lifts, and the path rises gently. The inward calm of Ubud slowly expands, inviting movement without urgency. This is Campuhan Ridge Walk, a narrow trail carried by rolling hills and open sky. Simple, unadorned, and quietly powerful, it offers space for breath, for thought, for clarity. Here, movement feels natural. Each step follows the curve of the ridge, guided by wind and light. Nothing interrupts the view. Only green unfolding in soft layers on both sides. Morning mist drifts across the hills. sunlight arrives slowly, warming the path. Silence here is not empty, it is spacious, allowing the mind to rest without effort. Campuhan feels like a bridge within the journey. Not an end, not a beginning, but a gentle transition, carrying calm forward. From here, Bali continues to reveal itself, through quieter steps and open horizons still ahead. Leaving the gentle ridge behind, the road climbs quietly. The air cools, the light softens, and mist begins to gather. What was once open and sunlit now feels intimate, as if the journey is lifting you toward a calmer layer of the island. This is Munduk, a highland village wrapped in cloud and forest. Here, Bali feels cooler, slower, and deeply grounded. A place where elevation brings clarity rather than distance. Coffee plants, clove trees, and narrow paths shape daily life. Morning begins gently, guided by fog and quiet routine. Nothing is rushed. In Munduk, patience feels natural, not practiced. Hidden waterfalls thread through dense forest. Water slips over stone, feeding valleys below. Green here is deeper, heavier, and alive with moisture. A reminder that Bali's calm has many textures. Munduk feels like a cooling breath in the journey. A pause that clears the mind and steadies the pace. From this misty highland, Bali continues to unfold toward lakes, temples, and quiet places still waiting ahead. Leaving the cool highlands behind, the road slowly descends. Mist thins, light brightens, and the air warms again. The island exhales, guiding the journey back toward open water and gentle horizons. This is Nusa Lembongan, a small island where life feels unhurried and close to the sea. Here, Bali softens, less dramatic, more relaxed, offering a calm that arrives effortlessly. The sea shifts through layers of turquoise and deep blue. Lagoons rest quietly, waves arrive gently, and clarity defines every movement. Water here feels inviting rather than powerful. A place to drift, not to resist. Villages sit close to the coastline. Daily routines follow the tide, shaped by light and weather. Nothing feels forced. On Nusa Lembongan, simplicity becomes a rhythm of its own. Nusa Lembongan feels like a pause suspended over water. A moment to slow completely, to let the journey settle. From here, Bali continues toward final shores, reflections, and the quiet closing of this island story. Leaving the quiet drift of the islands behind, the shoreline grows familiar again. The sea stays close, but the energy changes. Movement returns, not hurried, but awake, as Bali begins to pulse with a different kind of life. This is Canggu, a coastal town where tradition and modern life meet effortlessly. Here, the island feels young, open, and creative, shaped as much by the ocean as by the people drawn to it. Waves arrive in steady sets, surfers move with the tide, and days unfold around light and water. The beach becomes a gathering place. Not for spectacle, but for rhythm, routine, and shared moments shaped by the sea. As the sun lowers, Canggu softens. Golden light washes over sand and fields, conversation slow, and the air warms with evening calm. Energy remains, but it settles, finding balance rather than excess. Canggu feels like a modern closing chapter. After mountains, forests, temples, islands, and stillness, it brings the journey back to life, reminding us that Bali's story is not only about retreat, but about living fully, present, and connected.